Citizens will be allowed to address the board on items not on the agenda. If there's anyone who wishes to do so, please come forward, identify yourself for the record, sign in, and good morning.
Good morning, Chair Rocker. Chair Rocker, Commissioners, my name is Kevin Skwira-Brown. I come as a citizen of St. Louis County and a constituent of the 1st District. At the September 14th board meeting, we witnessed a disturbing display of aggressiveness. As citizen after citizen came before the board to speak, Commissioner Fink took the opportunity not to listen or ask genuine clarifying questions, but to cross-examine, to discount, and challenge the validity of the citizens' concerns. Commissioner Fink's bias and prejudice was evident throughout. When a town supervisor shared his view that the township decision was flawed, Commissioner Fink ignored what he had to say and instead asked him to provide the opposing viewpoint.
Mr. Chair.
When the next citizen noted the detriment to his land value and use of property as a result of the rezoning, Mr. Fink was satisfied after asking how many landowners were similarly affected. Just me, the citizen replied. The message was clear. One citizen, at least this one, meant nothing to Commissioner Fink. Maybe if he owned a chain of pharmacies or they shared lake property, but no, this guy meant nothing. The next citizen testified to his opposition was asked how far he lived from the proposed shooting preserve, as if only those citizens within a certain range merited consideration. 2 miles was far enough for Commissioner Fink to discount him as well. That, despite the man leasing land and grazing cattle on 3 sides of the illegal shooting preserve that Commissioner Fink seems to desperately want reopened. What has been a citizen's right to be heard by this body is once again becoming a citizen's risk of being attacked. Ironically, it wasn't Commissioner Nelson, the usual bully this time. It was Commissioner Fink who used his questions to play cross-examiner. I call on Chair Rocker and the board as a whole to hold one another accountable to openness and civility when it comes to citizens speaking before you. When during a break, I pointed out his behavior to Commissioner Fink, he turned his back on me and walked away. That's no way for an elected official to treat citizens they're being paid to serve. And then, last evening, a number of District 1 constituents gathered for a scheduled debate between Commissioner Fink and candidate Jewell. Commissioner Fink didn't show up. According to the Duluth News-Tribune report this morning, when asked why he wasn't there, Commissioner Fink replied, it was nobody's business, adding, suffice it to say it was county business. I beg to differ with the commissioner. If it was county business that kept him from being there, then certainly the citizens of the 1st District deserve to know what kept him from being there. Apparently, Commissioner Fink claims he notified the league of his decision to back out of the debate last Friday by email. While he refused to provide emails related to the Fish Lake fiasco, perhaps he will find it politically convenient to do so in this case, if indeed those emails exist. Regardless of the timing of his notification, one must ask, is this the kind of representation that District 1 expects? I think not.
Okay, thank you for your comments. I guess I can only say at first blush my recollection of that day was not similar to what yours was, but and I do know that township officer, and he was not in any way offended by being asked some questions or being requested of additional information. So, Commissioner Nelson, a comment, and I'd like to limit that because this is really the citizens' forum here.
Mr. Chair, I wanted to expand on what I was referring to as a point of order. Mr. Chair, the standing rules of this board do not permit individuals to come forward and pick out an individual commissioner. Those comments are to be to the board. I understand the opinion of the citizen who was in front of us. I really appreciate the fact that he takes the time to come here, but the comments pointing out a commissioner, those are not allowed. That is the rules that we have, not just for this individual, but for all people that come in front of this board to speak to the board as a whole. If they wish to speak to a individual commissioner, Mr. Chair, this is not the setting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Nelson, for that reminder, and that is, in fact, the true. I think we would be wise to avoid politically motivated attacks on individuals and try to stick to issues that are of general nature to the public and to the business of St. Louis County. Would be appreciated. Commissioner Fink.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, I'm actually glad that Mr. Brown came today. It's important for us to understand what it is that's on the minds of this particular person. But I'm not sure it demonstrates what is real. As I mentioned earlier, I toyed with the possibility of using Mark Twain's quote that if you don't read the newspaper, you'll be uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you'll be misinformed. I have in front of me the email that I sent on October 8th at 10:50.44. It says, "I'm sorry for the late notice, but yesterday I found out that I will be unable to attend your forum. Balancing campaigning and the business and county business is always difficult. Thanks to your group for its efforts on behalf of the commissioner candidates." The issue, however, is this. That message never got through, and now I'm to blame. And that's all right, because I'm the person who's holding the office at this particular moment. But here's what was said when I talked to the folks who were in charge of the League of Women last night. I said, I sent you this email, and I sent it to, in this case, Laura Seitz, and the response was, well, she's in Florida. I'm sorry. You know, I missed that. And I missed that because that was the only contact that I had for the group. So when I sent this out, if she was in Florida, I apologize. That was probably my fault. I should have known that she was going. But I thought I did my part. And, you know, if I didn't, my citizens will stand up and say no when it comes time on November 2nd. But I encourage you to continue to come in front of this board and demonstrate exactly what you tell us we should not do, and that's being civil. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for those comments. I forgot to mention it that for items on the agenda, citizen